Hi, this is John with Flat 6 Motorsports, and today we're taking a look at the iPE Valvetronic exhaust for the Porsche 992 Carrera. Let's see what's in the box. So in the box, you have your muffler section. It comes with some clamps already pre-installed and some miscellaneous hardware you'll need for installation of this system. Now, in front of us is actually the titanium system. iPE offers this both in titanium and stainless steel. We have the titanium version. This does weigh about 17 pounds lighter than the stock muffler, so substantial weight savings, but the stainless steel version will also have some weight savings. Now, this does work with the factory tips on all Carrera variants, so no matter if you have the PSC or not, this will work with it, and it's a plug-and-play system. iPE, or Initech Performance, is a Taiwanese-based manufacturer of exhaust systems. They make exhaust for a variety of sports car and exotic cars, and they've been around for about 20 or 30 years making high-quality systems. We're one of the early adopters of a Valvetronic system, and this is kind of where they got their name, allowing the system to be closed or open, which should maintain good back pressure under low RPM conditions, allow the turbo to spool nicely, and then open up to have a more enhanced noise at higher RPMs. So the design of this system is actually fairly simple. It's fairly similar in design construction to the Akrapovic. It's got 1.15 millimeter thick tubing, and the primary is a 70 millimeter tube, and this secondary with the valves closed, and I'll show you how it routes in a second, is 45 millimeters in diameter. So the exhaust is going to come off of the catalyst or the link pipes that you have installed in the car. Now, this will work with the factory cats or any upgraded link pipe, whether competition style or 200 cell. iPE also offers both of those link pipe solutions. So it's going to route through there and go up through these U-bends just like the Akrapovic system, and then it's going to meet these valves right here. So with the valves open, it's just going to go directly out through these 70 millimeter tubes through the exhaust tip through the back bumper and out for high flow. With the valves closed, it's going to route the exhaust gases up into this mini muffler canister, and that's going to have some baffling in it and restrict the flow out of these 45 millimeter tubes. And so that's going to help quiet the car down under normal mode or with the valves closed, and then allow it to open up and get rowdy with the valves open. So with that being said, let's get it on the car, see how it sounds. Installation of this system is very straightforward. It's kind of a remove and replace technique of the factory system. We do have a detailed video showing you how to install an aftermarket exhaust system for your 992 Carrera. Check the link below if you want some further information on that. And on the dyno, the iPE picked up considerable gains across the entire rev range. You can see nice gains all the way across, very linear power band, very nice results here with 8.4 wheel horsepower peak increase and 6 foot-pounds of torque. But if you look at the area under the curve, there's some pretty substantial gains, upwards of 19.7 wheel horsepower and 23.8 foot-pounds of torque. So overall, very nice system as far as it performed on the dyno. 992. We have the iPE exhaust system on, cruising at about 66, 67 miles an hour. Very comfortable with the valves closed. You hear a slight little bit of persistence of sound. This system overall, you get a good volume kind of across the range, even with the valves closed. But it's also somewhat like comfortable and similar to stock in a way. It just has a little more of a growl. Has a nice little purr at idle too. This system seems to add a little more depth, a little more bass tones, and you know, overall is a really balanced sound with the valves closed. Like I said, fairly similar to stock. When I'm leaving my neighborhood in the morning, it's pretty, you know, compliant. Sounds, you know, basically like a stock car, so something that's not going to annoy your neighbors at all. With the valves in the open position, it gets very aggressive. Actually, one of the more aggressive sounds of the systems we've tested. Definitely has a lot of deep notes, bass, but also kind of aggressive burble on the revs in sport mode. Let me just click over there. The one thing I will mention in sport mode is with the valves open, right around, let me just get down in gear, right around this 2,000 RPM. I'm holding it at a little bit of a low just to showcase. It does have some kind of major booming resonance and drone, so not many people are probably going to cruise around with the valves open, but it does have at that kind of one frequency, an RPM, kind of an unpleasant resonance, unless you really like, you know, a bassy depth while you're cruising. But again, that's with the valves open. Then if I just upshift into 5th gear doing 75 now, it kind of even goes away even with the valves open. Obviously when you close them, everything gets real quiet again. So overall, a very nice system. This is a titanium construction system, so it's very lightweight. Gives a lot of divergence in sound as well. So with the valves closed, it's, you know, fairly OEM-ish, OEM plus. And then with the valves open, it's, you know, extremely aggressive. So it gives you kind of the best of both worlds there, and two very, you know, different characteristics, which is kind of nice because with the valve system, you kind of get the best of both worlds. And this system certainly delivers, and it does both extremes very well. So I think a lot of people would be happy with this system. If you're interested in this system, we'll have a link below in the description. Feel free to check out the rest of our playlist with more exhaust options for the 992. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We're happy to help. Thanks. We'll see you in the next one.